All right, thank you so much for joining us tonight, you guys, for Tech with Heart. Before we get started in doing our networking, I wanted to share a little bit about why we are building this community called Tech with Heart and what it's all about. My name is Michelle Calloway. I am the founder and CEO of REVEALiO, which is an augmented reality video marketing tool that is sure to get you noticed, sure to make people stop in their tracks and pay attention to your every word. It's really remarkable what's happening with this new tool, and we're very excited to bring it to market. My background is I'm in the visual communications field with a multimedia degree, and I own my own graphic design agency for quite a while when augmented reality was introduced to me. And it basically flipped my life upside down, so much so that I couldn't sleep for 2 whole weeks. And if you were to put me in a CAT scan, I would have been lit up all kinds of colors. I mean, my brain was so lit. And like I said, I couldn't sleep for 2 weeks. So when you feel like something grabs hold of you that intensely, you really do know it's like a calling. And I wasn't really quite sure once I started learning how to develop with augmented reality, what exactly I was supposed to do with it, until a young lady came to me. And this is the story of why I built REVEALiO the way I did. A young lady friend came to me and saw that I was able to make images and objects come alive with virtual content, because that's what augmented reality does. It bridges our physical realm with virtual content. So it bridges the two worlds together. So she saw that I could make images and objects come alive, and she had fallen in love with a soldier who was deployed overseas in the military. She missed him terribly and wanted him to be able to have the ability to see her and hear her anytime he wanted. And she thought, what better way than a beautiful I love you, thinking of you card. She wanted to send him a physical card. So we went to work and put a card together. She shot it on her cell phone, and I made the graphics, and I made the augmented reality happen. And this is what he saw when he viewed the card through our free app.
Hey Josh, it's Gabby. Yes, I'm on an app. Kind of weird, but it's raining here, and it's cold. Somehow that made me think of Germany. Not sure why. But I miss you so much.
So you can imagine what he must have felt, right? When he saw that card come alive and she talked directly to him on the card, unlike anything he'd ever seen before. He said it rocked him to his core. This is like a 19-year-old young man telling me this. He said he'd never seen anything like it. It blew him away. He said it made them feel like the distance between them, the oceans, just like shrinked up and were non-existent. He said it made him feel that she was right there with him, so much so that he carried it on his person, in his wallet, every day while serving overseas. And when I heard that story, I knew augmented reality was cool. I just did not, until this story, understand how it could act as such an amazing connective human connection portal, bridging people closer to one another, building that amazing connection that causes us to have such strong emotions evoked that we will really literally never forget. So that is why I decided to build this B2B model, making business cards come alive.
Hi, Michelle Calloway here. I'm a speaker, author, and tech founder of REVEALiO, an augmented reality marketing tool that you're actually witnessing right now. If you love what you're seeing and think that there's incredible potential of using it in your business as a marketing tool, please tap on the website button on your mobile screen and go to my website and learn more.
So when I built REVEALiO, I would demonstrate it to somebody or business people, or we were doing wedding fairs for a while there with the greeting card app, and people were just flipping out over it. They'd never seen anything like it before. So what I kept hearing again and again and again, especially from business owners, is that, wow, I had no idea this kind of technology even existed. Then in November last year, I had like a full-on vision, and this vision came clearer than any vision I'd ever had before. And it was about building a community called Tech with Heart. So when you hear the stories again and again that business owners are claiming that they don't know about this technology, they don't know it exists, they don't know probably a lot of other technologies that exist that could really quickly grow their business by being disruptive, and how they can use these technologies to stop people in their tracks and basically get noticed. So what we're going to do with Tech with Heart, our purpose in it, is to build a community of heart-centered, forward-thinking business leaders who realize that quality connection, quality human connection is what makes a business successful. So we are about coming together, empowering one another, working alongside each other, encouraging one another to continue to grow our businesses with people at the center of it. And then we're going to learn through the knowledge part of Tech with Heart, the the enlightenment part, where you're going to be introduced to new technologies perhaps that you'd never heard of before, that could indeed quickly grow your business if you start using them, because they're fresh, edgy, disruptive, incredibly powerful, incredibly efficient. So we're going to teach you a lot about different tools, different techniques. That's the knowledge and the empowerment aspect of Tech with Heart. So there's community, there's knowledge, and then the third part of it, before I go to the third part of it, let's talk about all the different facets of the knowledge aspect. So these are just listing some of the concepts that we're going to be talking about in Tech with Heart. I'm sure there's more that I didn't remember to write down here, but every month we're going to have a different guest speaker come and talk to us about these different aspects of technology and how it can be used in business. But beyond learning about all this amazing stuff and being in community with fellow like-minded, heart-centered business leaders, the part that really matters is the empowerment part. So it's not enough for us to show you what is possible without giving you the means to actually implement what you feel will be beneficial to your business at the point where you are in your business. Not every tech tool is going to be perfect for you at the moment. Every business has a journey. So the empowerment part is after every Tech with Heart meetup, we're going to give you an opportunity to where you can follow up and do a hands-on training or a one-on-one or whatever that modality is that can take you to the next step where you're able to implement it. That is what we want to empower you with through Tech with Heart. So it's about community, it's about knowledge, and it's about empowerment. So that is what Tech with Heart's all about. We thank you so much for participating in Tech with Heart, and we hope that you share the word about Tech with Heart, and you can join our mailing list at techwithheartnetwork.com. All right, let's go ahead and get on with our meeting. Okay, so Rebecca is amazing. I met her, it's got to be a year ago now, and when I saw all that she was doing, especially she's empowering a lot of women to do some amazing things, believe in themselves, and just take their business and transform it through all of the different multimedia approaches that she takes a business owner through. So I asked her if she would. She's very heart-centered as well, and you're going to hear that a lot when she speaks. So I asked her to come and speak to us at Tech with Heart about many different medias that she uses. Let me explain who she is and what she does. She's an influencer and empowerment leader that wants to help you reach more people. She's got an international radio show called Empowering Women, Transforming Lives, and is currently playing through 10 different networks and 12 different channels. She's got an international TV show currently released through 4 different TV networks. She's got an RHG magazine and TV guide that's shared in over 50 countries, and her TV network called the RHG TV Network features over 7 TV channels, each producing and sharing multiple programs and TV shows around the world. She's recently received the honor of one of the top 10 working women in America for her empowerment work in the area of entrepreneurship. I'm telling you guys, she is a big deal. She's doing amazing things. She's the CEO of RHG Media Productions, founder and owner of the RHG TV Network director of the women's channel of Voice America in both TV and radio. She had me on her radio show, which was awesome. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for that opportunity. And she's also the founder and owner of Your Purpose-Driven Practice and the creator of the Speaker Talent Search. So if you're interested in learning anything about TV, radio, podcasting, writing books, and even speaking and doing live events, I mean, this woman, she does everything. She's amazing. So let's introduce and welcome to the stage, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Thank you so much, Michelle. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here today. And I'm really excited to talk about visibility. That's one of my favorite things to talk about. And I wanted to start our conversation today really sharing why I think this is so important, and let you know I didn't always believe that. I actually was the person that was trying to be invisible at events. Even at my own events, when I would run them, I had people writing on the feedback form, "Where's Rebecca?" Because I was really good at creating, implementing, and then helping others shine. And it really took a long time for me to be willing to step into the spotlight. And part of what created that shift for me, because I hear this again and again, that we want to make a difference around the world. We want to have a positive impact for our passing there. When I travel around and I speak and I ask the question, how many of you want to make a positive difference in your life? You want to make a positive difference for others by your passing through their life. Almost everybody raises their hand. I think that's a common desire that we have, that we want to make a positive difference. We want to impact people in a way that creates a lasting positive shift in their life in one way or another. Then I ask the question, how many of you feel like when somebody's in that dark space, when they are struggling in whatever area it is that they're struggling in, that you are actually the perfect person that could help them with that? They know you're the person to call. They see your name, they see your picture, they know this is the person to reach out to that can help me at this moment in time. And a lot fewer hands go up. In fact, less than 10% tend to go up when I travel around and ask this. And so we have this desire, like way up here, we want to be seen, we want to make a difference, we want the transformation in people's lives, but our visibility is down here. And the only way that we can make that shift is we have to bring ourselves forward. We're the ones that can shift that. We're the ones that can create more visibility. So many people are waiting to be discovered. They're waiting for someone to know who they are and bring them forward. They're waiting for permission sometimes to step forward and shine. And I want to let you know, nobody can do it for you. We have to be willing to do that. And here's what visibility is all about. When somebody's in pain, when that darkness comes around them, they're hurting, their life just changed, they're not sure what to do, they're overwhelmed, they're confused, they're just trying to know, can I take that next breath? Okay, can I take another? That's darkness all around them. They can't see hands outstretched. They can't see the safe path or the next step to take. The only thing I know that cuts through darkness is light. We have to be willing to shine brightly enough that we become that light, that we can show them the safe path to take, that they can actually see our hands outstretched. That's what visibility is about. That's how we start to become seen. We have to be willing to shine, to share who we are, to stop being the best kept secret, to really be willing to bring ourselves forward. And the more ways we can do that, the more media that we can use to do that, the more trust that we build, the more familiar we are, the more likely they're to know that's who can help me with this. When that need comes up, they're going to be coming to you. But the way to create that is we need to be visible. And I believe we need to be visible in a lot of different ways and platforms. We tend to get comfortable in one way, one type of platform. That's what we're familiar with. Maybe it's live stage. A lot of people really, really love live stage because they can feel the energy. They can see that. They can read their audience. They know they're connecting. They can adjust, and they really enjoy all of that energy. But then it limits who they can help, who they touch. Because if they're only limited to live stage, that's the only place they know how to shine, they're missing a good portion of the world that could absolutely need them. We need to develop the skills to be seen as the expert we are on many different types of platforms. I think sometimes we really like this one, we're comfortable, like I said, but then we are given the opportunity to do a video training. We're given the opportunity to do an interview, and we'll shy away because it's a little bit out of our comfort zone. But if your people that you're trying to reach are people you haven't reached yet, they are probably outside your comfort zone. They're probably in places that you haven't reached yet. And what I want to remind all of us with great love is at that moment, it's not about us and our comfort. It's about who needs us. And are we willing to become what we need to become, to learn what we need to learn, to grow so that we can serve who we're called to serve? And that's something each of us has to answer again and again. I know for myself in my journey, wanting to be invisible, when I felt that opportunity, the call that I was being called to start telling my story, I resisted. I made a list of all the other people that were way more qualified to do that. I was a financial advisor. That's not what we do. We don't talk about those things. We talk about numbers and we build plans, and that's what we help people with. And yes, we want them to achieve their dreams, but we don't pull back the curtain and share our story as much and become vulnerable. And my story is a little tender, and it can open up connections that not everybody is always ready to have right away. So I resisted. But there was part of me that thought, well, maybe, just maybe, my story could be used for good. Maybe it could make a difference. Like, that was when I really went deep. That's what mattered to me. And I thought, well, if it can make a difference, if it can help another little girl, if they can have a more empowered journey than I did, if they can know the truth that took me so long to learn, that I mattered, that I'm beautifully and wonderfully made, that I have worth. It took me a really long time to discover those things. If I could help someone else do that sooner and shine in their gifts, perhaps I'd be willing to be uncomfortable. I'd be willing to be perfect in my imperfections and be vulnerable. So I wrestled. For me, it was wrestling with God. I went on 9 months this conversation that I shouldn't have to. Everyone else is more qualified. I don't know how. I'm not the right one. I don't do that. 9 months of this. And so finally, towards the end, I said, okay, I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to do this mean, hard, horrible thing I'm being asked to do, to share my story, share a new layer of my life that I haven't opened up and shared before. If it can make a difference for another, I will do that. But has anyone ever had those boundaries? But it has nothing to do, I never want to be on television, no radio, no books. I'm not a writer. I don't do books. Don't want to speak to more than 50 people at a time, because I don't do that. I don't think I can make a difference. Let's see what else. Oh, I don't want to be recorded. Nothing to do with cameras, no pictures. And I'll use a microphone because my voice isn't super loud. I can give on that. You just bring the people together. Let's go change the world. I was wanting the transformation without the vulnerability. Those were things that were so scary to me, so intimidating to me, that no one was actually asking me to do, but I was saying no to that so that I didn't have to, quote unquote, step forward in this new space, in these new arenas, and be vulnerable. And there was silence when I responded that way. And then I felt like God came back to me and said, Rebecca, I think you've misunderstood. This is a yes or no period. There aren't boundaries. There aren't contingencies. Will you go where I send you and share what I call you to share or not? It is your choice, yes or no, period. I finally leaned in. I said yes. And within, I think 2 months, maybe 3, I was on stage for the first time, terrified, sharing my story in front of 300 people, live streamed, cameras rolling, and had a couple radio interviews in the works, 2 book deals in the works, and a television interview I had felt tricked into doing, but I had said yes. And on that stage, sharing my story, shaking, don't even know exactly what I said because I was out of my body, and I just shared my story, and I felt like there was someone in the room that needed it, and I was willing to share it. That was enough for me. Heart by heart, life by life. And that's what it always comes back down to for me. and visibility. Who can I serve? I like how we were talking about earlier in the masterminding, we were talking about who are the people that we're serving. Really getting clarity. How can I serve that one? How can I step forward and where are they? As I finished my 7 minutes, that felt like forever, 7 minutes, I got off the stage, ended up having a lineup of men and women that said, Rebecca, I was the one. And the next person, I was the one. And the next, and the next. And they said, Rebecca, thank you for caring enough about me. I could tell you were scared, so I didn't hide it very well. I could tell you were scared, but you cared enough for me to do it anyway, and I'm inspired by that. I want to step forward and do the same for another. Thank you for caring that much. And what that taught me, and what I want you all to take from this, is it's not about perfection. It's about a willingness to serve. So every time you're thinking about trying a new technology, you're thinking about stepping into a new media, people want to connect with people. They are not looking for these distant, perfect beings that they can't relate or connect to. They want to connect with human beings. So it's really important that we're willing to share. And all of the radio, all of the filming, all the different things we do, I never let them edit it too much. If I say the wrong word, we leave it in. You can figure it out by the context. And it's okay. And it still makes a difference. It still connects with people. Now, I want to encourage you to stretch your comfort zone a little bit. Think about where your people are and go there. Be visible there. Be easy to find. We don't need to be a mystery. We need to stop being that best kept secret. We want to be easy to find. We want to share who we are, what matters to us, what we're wanting to bring forward. And what I've discovered, as much as I love building plans, I love building platforms, the reason why I do that is because I want it easier for every messenger that comes forward, every expert that comes forward that is making that commitment. They're willing to touch another life. I want it to be easier for you to find your way on that platform, to be able to touch another life. It's heart by heart, life by life. And the way I can make the world a better place is helping you all reach more people, be able to serve all that you're called to serve. That's the way I can make the world a brighter place. So we keep building, our organization keeps building as many platforms and paths that are actually leveraged together. So when you're doing one, you're actually on several at the same time, so that you can reach more people and focus in on your genius, on your gifts, knowing that you've got support, knowing that you're able to touch more lives. Let me circle back on this, because one, are you willing? Are you willing to step outside your comfort zone a little bit, explore another way to connect with people? Are you willing to look at where your people are and go to them? Where are they clustering? What events are they attending? How can you be a part of that? How can you connect in with them? And it's not enough just to go to the event or to go there, but you need to be visible while you're there. Sometimes we can go and then we're hiding in the corner hoping nobody talks to us. And then we go home like nothing happened here. I didn't make any connections. So we need to look at how we're showing up. Do we have a plan when we're going to a live event? When we're exploring this media, are we test marketing it? Are we looking at where that engagement happens? Are we seeing if people understand the way we're sharing and connecting? We want to make sure that we're creating engagement as we reach out in all these different platforms and medias that are out there. But it's really good to take a look. So anyone here, I'm going to see those that I can see who raise their hands. Anyone here ever used a map before? A map, going somewhere, driving somewhere. So a map, I have discovered, is only effective if you know where you're at and where you're trying to go. because I have tried using a map and I was mistaken about where I was. And it took a really long time to get to where I was going. So I think it's important to take a look at where are you in your visibility? Where are you? Are you showing up at live events? Are you in print? Are you in social media? Are you just putting something on social media and then disappearing? Are you responding as people are engaging and connecting with you? Oh, where are you and what is working and where are you not? Where are you feeling like you need to be because your people are there and you kind of keep hearing about it and you really wish some of them would come over to where you are? Those are the areas perhaps to explore stepping into and starting to build a bridge. For instance, with us, we haven't done a lot in Pinterest and Instagram, and that keeps coming up with some of the people I'm talking to. So I was talking with a specialist in that earlier today, in fact. How can we do this? How can we step forward in a way that's going to connect and serve and leverage the following we have, but help serve on a higher level and bring another point of connection and element to what we're doing? And then I said, and then how can I share that same platform with our people that we're bringing so they don't have to build that whole platform themselves? How can we bring it all forward? Oh, look at where you're at, look at where you're wanting to go, and have a plan, a strategy. Have a way that you're checking in, just like I was talking about that new technology that we're launching on our TV network. I was talking about that earlier. We're launching that Thursday, but we're going to be checking in. We want to see how it's working. Is it creating engagement that we're wanting? Do we need to tweak it? Do we need to adjust it? Same thing with our business and our visibility and our plan. Look at where we're at, where we want to go, and then you can start to build steps to get there. We can start to build a path to reach more people. I think it's a really good idea to look at your social media reaches, your email list. That's another thing that's really important. Grow your list. That grows your influence and your reach. You want to, and it will open actually up a lot of doors for you. The larger your list, the bigger influence you have, the bigger reach. There are doors and opportunities that will open up to you. So you want to pay attention to your list. Setting some clear goals of where you want to be in 6 months. Where do you want to be in a year? And then starting to take steps to get there. So you want to look at where you are in all these different areas of visibility so that you can keep taking steps forward and then check in periodically. In the written word, are you writing? And I can give you a tip because for a long time I said I'm not a writer. I believe now we have about 16 books that I've contributed or led and been in, and we're launching 10 more between now and the end of the year, 2 more that I'm contributing in. So I found a way to write that plays to my strengths. I think sometimes we're approaching things in a more difficult way than they need to be. What I discovered is if you give me, as much as I like planning, you give me a piece of paper, which is how I thought you always had to write. I will look at it and I will create business plans and I'll create checklists, but it's not very compelling to read. It like pulls that part of my brain and I start planning. Whereas if I speak, I can tap into my heart and I can share from that place and bring it all together. And that's much more compelling for people to read and engage in. So I discovered there's these amazing technology devices that record what you're saying. And they can even transcribe it for you. And then you can fine tune it and use it in different ways. So every time you're sharing, every time you have that amazing conversation, you're doing an interview, you're sharing a presentation, record it, and repurpose that amazing information that you already have and you're creating as you speak, and then you can use it in different ways. And that will help give you endless content that you can use in all different kinds of ways. And that's how I've been able to bring forward so much in the written word, is I've been able to leverage that. We're leveraging right now. We're doing a live presentation as we're connecting here, interacting with each other, that's being recorded. So in a sense, we've now created a show, and a special presentation that can be used and repurposed again and again and again. I could get it transcribed. I could then use some of that content in other ways. We could create a multimedia type of thing where we have it released in our magazine and we click a link back to it and it shares. We could have it in print and it connects back with REVEALiO that connects back to a piece here and there. So one of the ways that we can accomplish more in our visibility, in our reach, having that increased impact, is remembering to stop and pause for a moment, breathe. We get so busy rushing to the next thing, and look at what we're doing, look at what we're wanting to do, and ask the question, how can I do this more easily? And maybe have fun doing it. And how can I maybe accomplish some more of my goals with this thing I'm doing? Because it could be as simple as recording it. You've already planned on doing it. A lot of how the way we produce our weekly television shows, I have live events, live conferences that we do. We film them. We film every speaker, and then we turn that into a standalone television show. We then take pieces of that, we create another mini show out of it that's called an empowerment moment. It's the same footage, it's the same filming, but we're able to break it up into different pieces. So it looks like we're having an event and a conference, which we are, but at the same time, it's a live studio audience and we're filming a show and program, and we're actually creating multiple programs out of that same time together and space. And it was stopping and pausing and thinking, what else can I do? What else can I bring to this so that I can accomplish more and reach more people? And now every speaker not only gets to reach that local audience, they're getting to reach an international, worldwide audience in an evergreen way again and again. Same thing with the radio shows. We look at how can we not just have great content, which we always want, amazing guests, but we also offer the opportunity to do free gifts. So if you're doing affiliate kinds of things, or you're wanting people, if people connect with people on my show, I want them to be able to become a follower of that person, not just have had an amazing aha moment and experience on the show. I want them to be able to carry that relationship forward. But it takes stopping and kind of thinking about, what else can I accomplish? So asking that question, what else can I accomplish or do with this thing that we're creating? Who else can we reach that we're wanting to reach? How can we maybe shift this just a little bit to accomplish more so that we can serve more? Oh, those are my hot tips that I share with you. And just to give you a snapshot, if we look back 4 years ago, maybe 4.5 years ago, I had a list of 70 people and a social media kind of reach of maybe 1,000. And today our list is in the thousands and thousands. Our reach is a promotional reach of 7 million and growing. We're in all these different networks that we shared. Oh, it happens, putting a plan step by step into place, making that our goal. How can we reach more people? Where else do we need to be? What platforms? And we've built one platform at a time. Not all at once. We talked about that earlier, focusing on one thing. So one platform at a time, making sure we can continue our relationship on that platform, then add another platform and then another platform. So that's why now we're looking at Instagram and Pinterest. And how can we do that in a way that continues to build relationships as we're moving forward so that we can bring what we're called to bring to the world in a powerful way? So those are my leveraging tips. I very much want to honor our time. And I guess the final thought I want to share in this is, remember, you're helping people. And it is a heart by heart, life by life relationship thing that we're building in technology and social media and all these different platforms, whether it's in print, in person, having your own show, your own program. It's a way to connect with people. Oh, as you're building, as you're looking at touching more lives, remember that. And remember, it's about reaching them where they're at. And I want to invite you to be willing to stretch just a little bit more out of your comfort zone so that you can help that person out there that hasn't heard of you yet and desperately needs what you have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. That was amazing. I just love you. Always help me calm myself down and just focus on what I need to focus on. I'm going to go ahead and ask you to share in the chat box how people can get a hold of you as far as Rebecca's available, you guys. She will indeed take you to the next level. I mean, unlock and load and empower and take you to new heights. Just even, she may even be able to host you on her radio show or invite you on one of her, she does these compilation books. If you want to be an author and you just know there's a story in you that needs to come out, written word is very powerful. So thank you so much, Rebecca, for your time. We really appreciate you coming on and sharing your heart with us and some technology tips on how to use a multimedia approach to taking your business and getting it out there, because you got to go where the people are, where your people are, and not expecting them to come to you. That was a great tidbit. Thank you. Join us next month for Tech with Heart. On May 21st, we will be having a special guest speaker talk about social media and how strategy, incorporating it with social media and maybe even doing live broadcasting through social media can really benefit. Rebecca talked about it tonight a little bit about how important it is to have strategy. Step by step, you got to have those building blocks. You got to know where you're at in your journey, and you got to know where you're going. You got to build it block by block, and that's what we're going to be talking about next week when it comes to social media and live broadcasting, and how powerful that is, and what a simple strategy would look like in helping you guys to share your story and bring people along with you on your journey. All right, so thank you again for joining us with Tech with Heart, and hope to see you guys all next month. If you have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to questions, but I'm going to stop the recording. So thank you guys. Bye-bye.